According to Las Cruces city planner Andy Hume, the old plan for downtown is going to be revisited during a series of community meetings. Those are called charettes, and they're planned for October. One piece of the downtown puzzle that's missing: restaurants. The president of Coas Books, Beckett, has been downtown more than 20 years.
I know books. I know if there was more bookstores, we'd probably all do better. I mean, when you have a concentration of stuff, if you have more than one restaurant, I can't go to the same place to eat lunch every day. You just get sick of the food, So you have to have a mix, and the more mix you have, the more reason there is to come downtown. If one's too busy, you go to the next one. I think you've got to have certainly more than one restaurant.
So why aren't there more restaurants? Planner Andy Hume says a lot of it comes down to math.
Probably two main issues. The first issue is usually the age of the buildings. We have a downtown that has a lot of buildings that are 50, 60 years old, sometimes older. And so to try and retrofit older buildings to newer building standards, especially if you're doing something like a restaurant, can be very challenging. The second issue is liquor licenses. There is a finite number of liquor licenses in the state of New Mexico. And so it creates a demand, and we all remember from our microeconomics classes, an increased demand means an increased price.
The price of a liquor license is usually in the hundreds of thousands of dollars. Cattle Baron in Lincoln paid $350,000. One restaurant in Las Cruces paid $325,000 for a liquor license. Allison Kuper Smith lobbies on behalf of the New Mexico Restaurant Association, and she says there is one way to save money.
There is a restaurant license that's available that's really what you and I would call a beer and wine license. And that is relatively easy to get. The cost of that is about $1,000 for the license, plus about $200 or $300 in the startup fees, application fees. So that's easy to get, but the drawback is it's only beer and wine.
So if you want a margarita, you'll have to find a restaurant that has a full liquor license.
The beer and wine license route is a good way to go. The liquor licenses that don't have package are not as expensive, generally speaking, as those that do have package. So, but with New Mexico being on a quota system, a lot of those licenses aren't easy to get. You can't get them through the state anymore because they're at quota. So those have to be done in a private sale or lease situation. So it is a challenge, but it is doable.
Beckett was able to weather the storms over the years selling books downtown. Even in the book industry, he had to save like a farmer.
A lot of people don't realize that you have to bring in a lot of income that you have to hold on to be able to expand, to fix your building, to hire people, to move forward, because some years, like a farmer, some years you have nothing and some years you have a lot.
It looks like with high startup costs, it's going to be well-funded or established businesses that would lead any kind of restaurant movement downtown. But even that's not for sure. And even so, Kuper Smith has this to say.
A lot needs to happen down here, but it is a chicken and the egg. It's going to take a few restaurants coming down, taking that risk. And I think a restaurant that wants to take that risk is going to need to realize that it may be a year or two before they see the traffic they need to see from downtown.
Sloan Patton, KRWG News, downtown Las Cruces.